Hi there, it's Kate. Today I'm going to walk you through how to cleanse the chakras using crystal wands and crystals. So I've got two clear quartz wands here. These are my favorite healing wands. This one's a double terminated, manually shaped wand. And then this one is a natural Lemurian quartz wand. So there's a little bit of technique when we're cleansing the chakras, and I highly recommend, if you haven't already, watching my tutorial on how energy flows in the body, because that's going to give you a really good foundational knowledge as to why I do and use the techniques that I'm going to show you today. So I'll try and remember to put a link to that tutorial in the comments, but if I forget, then be sure to check it out, because it will really help explain what I'm doing in a little bit more depth as well. I do have an earlier video of this, and I decided it was time to update it since the other one's about 3 years old. In the earlier version, I worked with 8 chakra crystals, and today I'm going to be working with 9. Now, there's no fixed rule about which crystal needs to go on which chakra. You can use colors to guide you. So for example, working at the crown, you can use violet. Working at the third eye, you can use indigo, and so on. Experienced therapists know that you can use stones on all different chakras as well. So today, just to help for those of you who might be new and unsure, we're going to stick with the appropriate colors, so the matching chakra colors to the crystal colors, and that will just help keep it easy when you're starting out. The crystals that I'll be working with in order are: at the Earth Star chakra, I've got Snowflake Obsidian. For the Root Chakra, Red Jasper. For the Sacral Chakra, Carnelian. Solar Plexus Chakra, we'll be using Tiger's Eye. At the Heart Chakra, we'll be using Green Adventurine. At the Throat, we'll be using Blue Lace Agate. At the Third Eye, we'll be using Lapis Lazuli. At the Crown Chakra, we'll be using a very light amethyst. And at the Higher Crown Chakra, we'll be using clear quartz. And my lovely model today is my mannequin, Vanessa. Vanessa's the ideal client because she always arrives on time at the last minute notice. I don't have to give her any advance warning. She lies perfectly still. She doesn't cough or sneeze midway through the session, and she can lie there for really up to 6 hours at a time. So whenever we're doing an energy healing, it doesn't matter whether it's crystal healing, Reiki, whatever, we have to make sure our client stays grounded. That's why we always place the Earth Star chakra crystal first. Now, the Earth Star chakra is located about 6 inches below your feet. This is a very important chakra because it maintains grounding, but it also connects you to your whole ancestral and human history. It connects you to your family line, and it even connects you to the very first origins of humanity. We can't know where we're going unless we know where we've come from. So this chakra is essential for maintaining that earthly connection right from the start of the session until the very end. So let's go ahead and place that crystal first. If your client's very tall, like lovely Vanessa here, who I think is supermodel size, then their feet will be towards the end of the healing table. What you can do is place the stone between their feet. So I'll just pop it on the sheet here. Hopefully you can see that. Between the feet or the ankles. You can place it under the Achilles heel. You can place it at the up against the heel of the foot. You can even place it on top of the ankle or the foot, but that can be a little tricky because with the slightest move it will slip off. So let's go ahead and just place that between the ankles. I use a sheet as the sling. I always cover my clients with a sheet during a session. Not only does it help the client to feel secure and comfortable and warm, but it can also be used to hold the crystals in place strategically too. So we've gone and honored the Earth Star chakra. I do recommend you jump to my video where I talk about grounding, because I talk a little bit more about the Earth Star chakra in that video. I'll try and remember to post a link in the comments section. So we've gone ahead and we've honored the Earth chakra. So we've grounded our client, they're anchored to the earth energies, and that energy gateway is open. We have to balance this out by then placing the higher crown chakra crystal, which is located just above the top of the head. Once again, if your client's tall and you can't place it in this area above the head, then you can just tuck it up under the top of their head and that will be fine. So I've placed my clear quartz crystal there, and I've honored both the earth and the astral energies now, because we are earthly beings and we're spiritual beings. And these two gateways of energy are opened, so the central meridian flow throughout the body can run smoothly, and then we can place the remaining crystals down. Now here's a tip when placing the remaining crystals. So some people have a very structured way of placing the crystals. I like to be more fluid with everything I do in my energy healing work, because energy is a flow and it's constantly varying. So we have to be adaptable and we have to work in harmony with that flow. So if your client is perhaps quite heavy in energy, they've had a really bad day, they're feeling a bit flat and they need a boost up, and we want to really, I guess, wake them up and help bring the energy levels up, then we might start by placing the remaining chakra crystals at the top of the head and working our way down. That's because the lower we work down the body, the more earthly the energies are and the heavier the weight is, energetically speaking. So if your client's already feeling a bit and flat and heavy, then by starting to place the higher chakra crystals first, will instantly bring the energy upwards for the rest of the session. And from the other hand, if your client has come to see you and they're jumping and flighty and they're excitable and they're super energetic and they're finding it hard to settle down, sounds like my 9-year-old son, then you might want to start with the lower chakra crystals, because this will help bring some much needed grounding before we start the session. So if my client was overly energetic and distracted, then I would start with the root chakra crystal next and work my way up the body. So let's just pretend that Vanessa's had a terrible day at work. Her boss is really cracking down on her. She's feeling a little bit flat and she needs a bit of an energy boost today. So I'm going to go ahead and next place the crown chakra crystal, which is the amethyst. Now this chakra is located at the center top of the forehead. So I'm just going to place it there. Now just a tip here. I like to work with large flat stones because they don't roll off the body and they're better quality. And thirdly, I can place my hand over them to apply energy work. But some people have very small foreheads, or sometimes I'm working with children and I can't fit 2 of these stones on at one time. If that's the case, then I just use one large stone, just like the one that I used here, the amethyst, and I'll put that in the center of the forehead to honor both the crown and the third eye chakras. But if you can and do have room to fit 2 crystals in there, by all means, let's fit 2 in. So Vanessa's got a nice broad forehead, so let's place the amethyst there on the crown chakra, and next we're going to place the third eye chakra stone, which is my lapis lazuli. Now the third eye is located just between the eyebrows, and this is where we're going to place the crystal. Try and be careful not to place it on the top of the bridge of the nose. If you've got a cloth over your client's eyes, then it can be a little tricky to see. Just feel around a little bit to make sure you're placing it in the correct spot so it's going to sit nice and flat on their forehead. Next, we've got the throat chakra. So the throat chakra stone I'm using is blue lace agate, and we'll just go ahead and place that in the dip of the throat here. We don't want to use crystals that are too big at the throat chakra because this is a very sensitive area. So even a small stone is going to feel quite heavy in this position. So I wouldn't use a stone any larger than what I've just placed. However, sometimes I do like to use really big stones, and if I was working on the throat chakra, then I would place it more in this area here, so almost higher heart position, so I can still be using the large stone but not be choking my clients in the process. So I've gone ahead and placed the throat chakra crystal, and next we've got the heart chakra crystal. So the heart chakra is located exactly in the center of the chest, pretty much in line with your nipples. So that is where your heart chakra is. If you're working with women that have really large breasts, then it can be difficult to actually place a stone there without it falling or slipping off, in which case place it at the higher heart, which is in between the throat and the heart chakras, and that will be okay. We can also use pink stones here as well. I love to use rose quartz on the heart, but today I'm going to go ahead and use green aventurine. Next, we've got the solar plexus chakra, and I'm going to use tiger's eye there, so I'll pop that in position. Now just take a moment and feel your rib cage. So locate the bottom of your ribs and run your hands up along your bottom rib until they meet at the top. This is where your solar plexus is. It's about, it's a few finger widths below the heart chakra. It is a little closer to the heart chakra than what it is to the sacral chakra. So you may be tempted when you're looking at your client to place the crystals all beautifully, symmetrically, you know, so they're well balanced and spaced between each one. And that might look really pretty, but the idea of this chakra layout is to actually place the stones as close to and being on the chakra as possible, even if it means that they're a little bunched in some areas and spaced out in others, okay? So what's more important is that you've got the correct placement rather than how well spaced out they look on the body. The next is the sacral chakra, so I've got my carnelian. Now the sacral chakra is located about 2 finger widths below the belly button. Now if you're working on a client, all you need to do is just gently place your hand over their stomach and you'll feel that little dip where the belly button is. You don't have to go poking around. You can just, if they're wearing thin or loose clothing, you can quite easily feel it, and that will give you an idea of where to accurately place the sacral chakra stone. So see how there's a bit more of a gap between these 2 crystals than what there are between these ones? So that's because the solar plexus is closer to the heart. So yeah, let's just keep that in mind when we're placing the crystals. The next is the root chakra. So the root chakra is located at the perineum in the genital area. So it's not really appropriate to be, you know, shoving crystals in our clients' underwear and fiddling around there. So what we want to do is place it in the funnel of the root chakra. So all the chakras, if you look at my body on the screen, all of the chakras come out from the body this way like cones. So the point of the cone is in towards the body, and it funnels out away from the body, and it comes through the back as well. The root chakra, however, funnels down the body like this. So the point of the funnel is at the perineum, and then it funnels out towards the knees. The higher crown chakra does this too, but it goes in the opposite direction. It goes up out of the top of the head. So as long as we place the root chakra crystal between the genitals and the knees, then it's going to be within the funnel of energy that we need for the root chakra. So I'm just going to go ahead and place it here. Which is just below the groin of Vanessa, and it's well within the root chakra energy cone, so it's going to be fine. Now what we can do is we've placed the crystals, we're going to go ahead and just set the intention for the stones. This can be as general as just setting your intention for healing, you know, sending your positive healing intention into the stone. It can be something that is a lot more specific if you are working with your client or partner for a specific healing outcome. But I'm just going to go ahead and set a general intention for the healing today. Now you can do this as you're placing the crystals, so you can place the crystals and then set the intention. I like to get them all in place first and then go back and set the intentions for the stone. I practice Reiki, so in an actual healing session, I spend over 2 minutes setting the intention for the stone, because at the same time I'm actually applying Reiki. But if you're not a Reiki practitioner and if you're just starting out, then just spending 10 seconds at each chakra point is fine. And we do this by simply placing our hand over the chakra point. So at the higher crown, I'm just going to place my hand at the top of the head. I've got one hand here, but I can come up and stand at my client's head and place 2 hands over the top. That's okay as well. But I'll just place one hand here, and I'm setting my intention for the stone, for the chakra and for the healing. You can also place your other stone over the crown and third eye and be sending your intention into those stones too as you're working. And then I'm going to work down the body, but you can also start at the end and work your way up. At the throat, we never place our hand over our client's throat like this unless you're doing very specific healing or trauma release. So a good way for setting the intention in this area is to actually place your hands on the shoulders in a V. So just like this. And that doesn't give that constrictive, strangling kind of feeling, but it still sets the intention for the throat chakra. Moving down to the heart chakra, if you're working with a man, you can place your hands directly over the chest. Working with a female, you have a couple of options here. You can place your hand vertically like this, between the breasts and over the top of the crystal. Or if you prefer not to touch, then you can just hold your hands above the stone. And you can hold your hands above the stone for each chakra point as well if you're not comfortable with hands-on healing work. Moving down, we do the solar plexus, the sacral, the root chakra, the same thing, holding your hands above the client and not touching if that's not comfortable for you. Alternatively, you can place your hands in a V on the hips, either side of the groin or on the upper thighs as well. And then down to the Earth Star chakra. Now we can do this by placing our hands over each ankle. We can go to the foot of the bed and hold the base of our client's feet and set the intention that way as well. So we've gone along, we've set the intention for all the stones, and now we're ready to do the healing work. Once the crystals are all placed down on the body, it's time to start your healing work. If you're working with wands, it's really important that you wake them up by just giving them a twist or a rub like this, and that actually stimulates their piezoelectric qualities and gets all the molecules flying around in excitement, ready to start the work. So we'll just wake them up like this. I go into more details about piezoelectricity and the science of crystal healing in my crystal healing courses, which you may want to check out. So we've woken up the wands and they're ready for the cleansing work. It's very important when we're cleansing the chakras that we always start at the root chakra. Think about how energy flows in the body, how food it flows through the body, how the body rids itself of toxins. It all flows in a downward motion like this. So we eat the food, we process the food, we eliminate the food, and the same goes for energy. So whenever we want to release any trauma or negative energy or blocked energy, that's released out through the root chakra of the body. So if you can imagine that we might have, let's say my lovely client Vanessa has a blockage in her solar plexus chakra. I can work on this chakra and release it and push it down the body with that natural energy flow. But if I haven't actually opened the root chakra, then this blocked energy that's up here might just move down and get blocked somewhere else because it's got nowhere to go. So whenever we're doing a cleansing, an energy cleansing session, we have to cleanse and open the root chakra first, even if there's no blockage in that chakra, because it's like opening the door or opening the gateway for all the rest of the junk and debris and energetic flow that's non-serving and that we want to get rid of. It opens the door for that to be released. So think about it this way. What happens if you're constipated and you need to go to the toilet and you can't eliminate that waste? It's the same kind of thing energetically. So if we don't open and clear the root chakra, it's like an energetic constipation. So it's not actually going to get rid of everything that we need to let go of. Not a very pleasant analogy, I know, but it's a really accurate one, and it helps put in perspective how this all works energetically speaking. So when we're cleansing a chakra, what we do, you can work with one wand or you can work with two wands like I am. Stand with your client's feet at your active wand hand. So I'm right-handed, this is my active wand hand, so my client's feet are to the right of me. If you're left-handed, stand on the side of the table where your client's feet are going to be on your left side, and I'll show you why. What we need to do is come in close to the chakra with the wand, and we're spiraling in an anti-clockwise direction like this. And this is like a whirlpool. So picture a whirlpool in a swimming pool. What happens to all the leaves and sticks and junk that's in the pool when you get into a whirlpool? It scoops it all up into the center and captures it, and then you can send it down to be released out through the root and the earth chakra. So we're going to whirlpool all of that non-serving energy, clearing away anything that's blocking up this space, and then sweeping it down and drawing it out the body. If you're working just with one wand, then just use your active wand hand and draw it down. You can also do this with a pendulum as well. Here's a tip: whenever you're doing any crystal healing work or energy work, stand with your feet really wide and far apart. And this way you can naturally move along the length of the body without shuffling your feet and doing like little jerky movements as you work. We're working with energy. We want to maintain flow and fluidity. So we have to keep our body in that flow. So open your feet wide so you've got a wide stance so you can bend your knees and really flow into the movement. So we've opened up the root chakra down the body, and now we're going to move up into the sacral. So this door's open now, so any energy that we unblock higher up is going to flow down. So think about, why am I not jumping up to one of these chakras? So because we mentioned earlier that Vanessa might need to work on her solar plexus, why am I still clearing the sacral chakra instead of opening up the gateway and then jumping up to the solar plexus? It's because if I dislodge any energy here and move it down the body, it might just get stuck at the sacral because I haven't opened the sacral chakra. So it's like this knock-on effect, like dominoes. Any chakra that we need to clear and open and cleanse and release from, we need to do the same for any other chakra that's in its path of release towards the root chakra. So I'm going to move my way up the body here. So spiraling in an anti-clockwise direction and sweeping the energy down the body. And then once we've cleared the sacral chakra, we can move up to the solar plexus. So we'll do the same here and move it down. And because we've cleared this whole pathway down to the root chakra, this is a nice clear highway for this traffic to just flow smoothly down and be released. Almost like a traffic jam being unstuck. And we keep moving up the body. Now, as you're moving and sweeping this energy down the body, try and bring it in a straight line, because we're also aligning as we're doing these movements. So try not to be zigzaggy and wobbly or pull it down the side. Let's try and keep the line right down the center of the body. And this is why keeping your body fluid and flowing is really important. And it's especially important if you're short or have short arms. I'm quite tall and I've got long arms, so I've got quite a long reach. But if you're shorter, then it's really important then that you position yourself in a way that you can move more freely and actually get maximum reach along the body. So we move our way up to the throat chakra, doing the same movement, spiraling in an anti-clockwise direction and flowing down the body. I should mention that it's important when we're spiraling this movement that it's about the size of an apple, the circle that we're making. And we don't want to go too fast or too slow. So if we're going like this, this is too turbulent, it's too fast. This can create a little bit of almost like a whirlpool effect in the aura, and especially down in the lower chakras, it can actually make your client feel a little bit nauseous. So, and if it's in the head, it can make your client feel a little bit dizzy. So we don't want to be going too fast, but similarly, we don't want to be going too slow either, because that's not going to be very effective. So try and find that nice, medium, comfortable speed and draw the energy down. And we're not flicking it away either, okay? Nice, smooth, flowing movements. We're pulling it down mindfully and with control. Now I'm just doing one big spiraling movement here over the crown and third eye chakras, which is okay, but you can do two smaller ones if you prefer. And down. And there we've cleared all the chakras. We've opened, we've unblocked them. The line of energy should be flowing nice and smoothly now. And in another video, and I'll try and remember to post the link in the comments, I will teach you how to actually charge and energize the chakras after we've cleansed them. I hope you learned something today, and I will see you next time.